welcome to the Point. It is Friday, October 8th, 2021. Thank you to those of you joining us on the GBN Grenada Broadcasting Network's Facebook page, the Grenada Broadcasting Network's YouTube channel, the website www.gbn.gd, GBN TV channel 7, 11 and 20. Good morning to the listeners of Classic 105.5, 105.9 and the folks joining us on Party Grenada and Go to FET Facebook pages. It is Open Line Friday here on To The Point, where we give you, our viewers and listeners, an opportunity to call us or message us and share anything that you'd like of national, regional, and maybe even international importance. You can call us on the landline 435-2041. You can message us on the WhatsApp. It's also 435-2041. Please, only written messages on WhatsApp. And you can post your comments, questions, queries, concerns on the GBN Grenada Broadcasting Network's Facebook page or the Grenada Broadcasting Network's YouTube channel. Let's go to our first caller. Good morning, caller. Good morning. Okay, hold on. Let me try this again. Good morning, caller.
Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm good.
All right, just speak up a little bit.
I love Blossom. Tell her, say I love her.
Thank you very much, Blossom speaking. Thank you.
I love to see you, sweetheart. May God bless you. Stay safe.
Thank you, and you do the same as well.
I love you.
Love. Thank you very much. Have a good day. Oh, that made my day. Thank you very much, caller. Oh, put a big grin on my face. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. All right. Yes, it's Open Line Friday. Yes, it's Open Line Friday here on the program, giving our viewers and listeners an opportunity to call us. Let me go back to the landline. Good morning, caller. Good morning. No, man, I think it's me. Hold on. All right, I'm making sure it's not me. All right. Yes, so you can call us landline. Let me see. There are a few things happening. Let me see if I can generate some thoughts and comments from our viewers and listeners. Numerous things happening. Our COVID-19 daily cases continue to drop. Yesterday we recorded 23 new cases. The COVID-19 dashboard shows active cases at less than 700. So we seem to be looking good for now. Let's hope it stays on that track. Let me see if I can think of anything else that has happened this week, and I'll see if I can generate some thoughts. Good morning, caller.
Good morning, my dear Blossom.
Good morning. How you doing?
I'm pretty okay.
All right.
I'm taking a program this morning, like antique program, you know.
You doing what?
The program I even created this morning,
right.
Like antique program.
Oh, right. Yes, I saw that comment. I think somebody on Facebook said so, you know.
Antique program on a Sunday in the past in the 70s.
Right.
Yeah, walk around for a little while, for a little time, and I see the government are doing expanding some of the road, building some, widening the road a little bit in any case, you know. But if your leaders was there before the vision for 21st century, that would have been done a lot of years ago in any case, but they didn't have no vision for them time, you know. All the roads is donkey cut roads, you know, build time agriculture, and just keep on putting town for the longest while. But bigger vehicle coming in Grenada, more bigger, heavy duty vehicle coming, so they don't widen the road and strengthen the road. But I find the government taking so long to repair modern road on them on. The road in modern finished the damage since 2018, you know, December month, you know. Up to now, you repair yet. I guess that's the reason why. I mean road has modern roads will be fixed a long time ago, since January 2019, that's a fix. Because all they do is grab, all the area is grab, that's sliding. You don't know what to do, grab and sliding to do. I mean, and put that thing there quick and body road to mend up on it. Because you go Mumbai road is very narrow and thing, and so roads up there, but you know, where the pass up there still. But still, the main road, the road in the bottom is more important, faster than Mumbai. Why it takes so long to repair road in Little Grenada? If you travel and then you see them building a bridge for you in the night and drive the next morning. I mean, come on, man. I could get a work done for the government if you give me the contract, you know. I know engineer, but I could get a work done for them in a month time, less than a month. It's time that would repair. I mean, I see they do a lot. I mean, in a bit in the case, you know. I mean, it's good. I mean, to see COVID-19 and they get a lot of work and thing to do things in any case. But things in Green Island take long to do on them, man. We're too small to doing things, taking years to do things in Green Island. We're too small for that.
Okay.
If the funds there, do the work in a quick time. Let people get, I still some road repairs and things, they hold up the hole in the roads and things in any case too.
Okay.
They're going to work the day for the time, Blessings.
Blessings. Thank you very much.
Enjoy the weekend.
You too, caller. Thank you very much. Caller, it's not as easy as repairing that Molyneux Road. It's not like a pothole where you throw some tar in it and it up to scratch. There's more involved in repairing that Molyneux Road because of its proximity to the sea. It's basically in the sea, and it'll take more than a month. I could tell you that much. And there's a lot of funding and considerations as to what is needed to ensure it's stable, because it's still on the coastline, it's in the sea area, and that was part of the problem. So it's not as simple as repairing a pothole or fixing a bridge or reconstruction of a road. It's more than that. Good morning, caller. Good morning, caller. Good morning, caller. All right, lost that caller. Let me go to the WhatsApp. All right, nothing on the WhatsApp, nothing on the Facebook. All right, good morning, caller.
Call back with nobody calling any case, No more in the road right now, How I sit, without no engineer skill in my head. You can't dig no trench to put no steel to build up. You have to pile that road with steel. That's how they do the dock and thing. And they build docks and thing with big pillars, steel, pile that. Today, they look at it with, I think now it's about pipe in somewhere. They look at the pipe and a pile either behind the pipe or in front of the pipe. And I get engineer, you have enough for engineers that could do it for me? Nothing wrong with that. I mean, you have enough ransom in Green Island. You have ransom cement thing in Green Island, ransom in Green Island. You could do it in a weekend time. I don't know, pile the rough first and just put the thing on the ground and you put some culvert below under the road too. Most people culvert, they build a wall on top, build a wall on top to widen the road and that's in a short time.
Okay.
Is it that thing long to do? Okay. It can't be no trench down there to pile, to put steel. Because you will come on you. You have to pile the area with steel.
Okay.
And I work doing a short time. I understand the house they're going on and all right now. The house, the building by I understand you're going slowly. I have to go over there and look again and say, look like,
Okay.
And that's anything long to do.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Yeah, you want love.
Again, caller, it's not that easy, and it's this. I'm not an engineer myself, but it just sounds like it might be the same thing. It's all about the what's the word I'm looking for? The weight. The weight of the buildings in the area contributed to the landslide. The houses, in addition to its proximity to the sea, all that contributed to it. So to me, piling steel would be the same weight. Could be more too, but again, I'm not an engineer, but that's just how I'm seeing it. It's not as easy as that road would have been fixed. That's the Prime Minister's constituency. That road would have been fixed long if it was that easy. I recall the Minister of Infrastructure, Senator Nolan Cox, I believe he said either they were sourcing funding for it or they sourced funding for it for the repair, but it's sourcing funds is one thing, but the actual work that needs to go into it is another. Again, caller, it's not that simple. Somebody on YouTube says the caller needs to call the Ministry of Works to bid for the job. Good morning, caller.
Good morning.
How are you doing?
Most of us are engineers and scientists and teachers and all kind of a thing. I don't know if it's bogus engineers or bogus scientists. Anyhow, it's a long time now. I want to talk about that, so I don't like you all people. I want to talk. I'm not talking about it. Now, I have noticed that maybe about a few months or a year, the Ministry of Health has destroyed most of the bins on the side of the road. And they give reasons. I don't know if the reason that they give far outweighs what they are doing now. I am asking myself, why should you have trucks? You've broken down a few bins or all the bins, and then you have trucks passing and collect the waste in different houses. So then you see the people that are walking on the trucks, the garbage trucks, jumping down, jumping up. I use the word jumping down and jumping up. I consider this to be risking the lives of the people, because as you know, as soon as the people will say, Grenada is not so much is not a flat country or a flat island. Consequently, these trucks have to stop at difficult spots. And as you know, trucks, you cannot say when the brakes would give away. So then I feel that these workers who have to be running and jumping up and jumping down, their lives are at very, very risky. Not even they alone. You have the drivers. You cannot say when the truck brakes would give away, except you might be a fortune teller. Now, so I look at these things. Getting rid of these beams are good, but at the same time, the sort of calamities it could cause is more than leaving the bins and educating the people as to how to throw the garbage in the bins. So this, to me, is a serious, serious thing. These big trucks should never be stopping on these hills, and men jumping down and taking barrel and pelting inside the truck. This is to some extent, I use the word stupidity. Thank you.
Thank you very much, caller. I understand what you're saying in terms of safety. Personally, I like to see it, but I mean that's just Blossom. I like when they take pride in the job that they do and they seem to be having fun. But what I would say, in most cases, they don't just hop off and on willy-nilly, wildly. They know when to hop off and when to hop back on. The truck goes at a certain speed, so I think they would be able to gauge when it'll be safe to leap, to jump off and on. I understand what you're saying about, you never know when brakes will cut, but I think they are, some of them at least, are experienced enough to know when to do what to do, how to do it. But I understand what you're saying. Somebody on Facebook says, I am wondering why can the government give free barrels for Christmas? Please, give us a little ease up. All right, let me go to WhatsApp. Somebody on WhatsApp says, it seems like we like to do things contrary to our laws, and I want the person who did it to be held accountable. We are told to take the vaccine. You must present ID, passport. You must present ID, passport, national ID, or NIS card. That's the truth. I have the facts. A Vinci woman went for her vaccine. She had no form of ID. She got the first dose, second dose, no ID, gave a false name. She came here illegally. Now her birth certificate arrived for her. They say they're going to get the card changed. It's a shame she came in illegally and still conned the nurse. Okay, so WhatsApp, since you are aware of the situation, my question is, did you take it to the authorities? You seem to have a lot of information that she got first dose, second dose, birth certificate. Did you take the concern to the authorities and let them know what is happening? I mean, there's only so much we can do to verify information, and we sometimes have to go a little extra step to ensure that we help the authorities do their job sometimes. Yes, that's what they're getting paid for, but sometimes we need to help. So did you take your concerns to the authorities? Good morning, caller.
Good morning.
Good morning, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you, and you?
Not too bad. I'm hearing an echo, so could you just turn the volume down on your radio or your TV?
I don't have a... Okay, so relax.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry about that.
No problem, no problem.
Okay, I'm concerned. I have a concern. Excuse me. There is, I noticed there are trucks that carry concrete, and they come up the cliff onto Mongelo, but there is a very dangerous corner as you leave the cliff coming up to Mongelo, right? There's a hill, a very steep hill to go up there, and there's a very, steep corner. But the concrete truck drops a lot of concrete on the road right on the corner. You know, so much so that sometimes vehicles that is coming have to swing away from it and onto the side of the other vehicle that is oncoming, and I think that is very dangerous. It can also cause people to fall and break their back. Sometimes me, myself, I have to be so careful about that. So I like the authorities to, look into that, please, and ask them whenever these things fall that they should maybe clean it up or something, because it is very dangerous. Thank you. Have a blessed day.
Thank you very much, caller. You enjoy your day as well. That is not just the cliff. A lot of concrete truck operators, they always try to circumvent the system whenever there's leftover cement. The nearest place I remember a few years ago, there was a picture somebody took of a concrete truck dumping leftover material in a abandoned part of a residential area. They do it in the end of Dusty Highway, the Lansapine, Grand Nance, and it's annoying. It is annoying. I wish the authorities, like you, ma'am, I wish the authorities would look into it and charge those who are doing it, because that shouldn't be done like that. So I'm with you. And let me go to Facebook. Somebody on Facebook says, the road that needs fixing going into Guave, over 15 years now, the government ain't fix it. Yet they go fix the Molyneux Road. Stop. When they go fix the Molyneux Road the next 20 years? Facebook, that is not completely correct. The road, what's the name of it? Mabuya Banje, that leads into from Palmis to Guave, that has, they closed it again the other day. They did try fixing that road and it fell again. So after its initial caving in, they fixed it and it caved in again. And a feasibility study, research, showed that it's not worth fixing again because the problem will persist, because like the Molyneux Road, its proximity to the sea means that the issue will continue. I know they backfilled is the word. They backfilled it a little bit a few maybe months ago because people still use the road at their own risk. But it's, according to the research, it's not it does not make financial sense to repair it because it will be a continuous repair job that needs to be done on that road. That's one of the reasons why it's not officially fixed and reopened. All right, let me go to WhatsApp. Somebody on WhatsApp says, I heard this argument before. Nurses going to and coming from work with their uniform on. Why the Ministry of Health ain't address this matter, especially the time we are in COVID-19? This COVID time riding on bus too with it on? I'm trying to remember what the requirements are. I recall bringing up this issue with, I believe, Minister of Health Nicholas Steele a few months ago. Well, maybe when COVID just started, and they did say that the nurses are advised to change in and out of their uniforms at the hospital themselves. So you come in with plain clothes, you leave them with plain clothes. What I'm not sure about is if it's a mandatory requirement or if it's a request. That's what I'm unsure about. Because it's advised, but do you have to come and leave in plain clothes? That's what I'm unsure about. But it's I understand your concern, WhatsApper. Good morning, caller.
Blossom, good morning.
Morning, how you do?
I know if I well as you.
Are you sure I well?
I don't know. When they say not all that look well, it might be well.
Big facts.
I just hear you made a point about the Mabuya Road, and I think you are a little wrong.
But Mabuya is the name in truth?
Yes, Mabuya is the name.
I wasn't sure about the name. Yes, go ahead. Mm-hmm.
Now, the road, they had closed the road sometime, I think it was last year, to do some repairs. Well, it's a long while now. We know the story with that road. They do part, they close, and then we've been passing there because I live in not too far from there. But this recent closure they have now is not a result of the point you just make there. What they do, they leave an area, there is a culvert that always block. So they do some paving, and they leave that area to do the culvert. So I think they cut the road now to do the culvert. Earlier on, when the road was closed, earlier on in the year was a same culvert they were doing. But you see, when I don't know if they just do these things to make us taxpayers spend more money or spend less. You had the road closed a few months ago. Do everything one time. They close the road. They do that spot. They lift up an area, which was good. And it's good. And then after, now, well, it wasn't officially open. They didn't announce and say it was open, but we were passing there. Then they did some paving, and then they come and they leave this other area where they have to do another culvert, and they cut it now to insert the culvert. So this is the reason why it is closed now. So that point you make about with the feasible study, that might be so, but I don't think this is the reason why it closes, because of this culvert they're installing.
Thank you, caller. Sorry for the misunderstanding. I didn't say they closed because of the study that said they shouldn't repair it. I remember seeing the notice from the traffic department of the RGPF about why they were closing the road a few months ago. So sorry for the misunderstanding. That's not what I meant, that they closed it because they shouldn't repair it. I know they closed it to do some work in the area. But thanks for clarifying and explaining further. But maybe they broke up the project in two because they only had funds for the first piece and they just get more funds for the second piece. I don't know. I'm just saying, call it. There could be a reason. There could be a method behind the madness. You never know. Facebook. Somebody on Facebook says these ministers are all riding in helicopters. Somehow the state of the road is not a bother to them. Another still on Facebook. Long before or after COVID, that should be done. So we not taken in or out. Okay, Facebook, I lose that one. All right, let's go to WhatsApp. Somebody on WhatsApp says, what are the procedures for crew members returning home after finishing their 6 to 8 months on the ship? It's the same as those coming in by plane. You have to quarantine, your PCR tests. It's the same procedure. They're not treated differently than if you're arriving by plane. So you still have to do your test. You still need your negative test result to get into the island. You still need to quarantine and do tests on your arrival in the island. Good morning, caller.
Good morning, madam.
Morning, how are you?
I'm not doing too bad at all.
Lovely.
I would like to know if the people that are vaccinated can be blood donors.
Yes, they can. According to, I think it was doctors Alexis and David when they were here the other day, you can still be a blood donor.
Okay. And the next thing is that there are special treatment for vaccinated people, like you can access certain
services.
Areas.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to know if you have been vaccinated to vote.
Oh, I don't know that one as yet.
Yeah, well, I mean, it could because, I mean, if all of us are citizens and some people choose to take the vaccine and some did not choose, and then you're saying because you take the vaccine, you can access these services, I would like to know if everybody has taken the vaccine to vote, or if people that don't have the vaccine would be able to vote. Or there are questions for the government. Thank you.
Thank you very much, caller. Would you believe I've been seeing that question/comment on social media for weeks. Well, you know, we always like to take things and run with it. So one person started it and a lot of people continued. Do I have to be vaccinated to vote? What's going to happen in 2023, which is when elections are constitutionally due. Let's see what happens now, man. By 2023, we should all be in a better position. We just might have herd immunity, so they might just say, you know what, you don't necessarily have to be vaccinated. Let's see. We still have 2 more years. COVID-19 might be under control by then. You just never know. Let's see what happens. Somebody in relation to the caller that complained about the concrete truck dispelling, their contents. Ooh, words, girl. Dispelling their contents on the roads on the cliff. Somebody suggested that you take the license plate number and report the truck. That's a good idea. And not just for the lady, but other people. When you see these things, you just take the license plate number. Most of these trucks have the company's names on them. You can either call the company and say, listen, this truck was doing this here, get it together, or call the traffic department of the Royal Grenada Police Force. I always say when there are things that you should call the police for, call them. Do your part. Whether the police acts or not is another story, but do your part. Call the police, call the company, just take a license plate number that's easy to get. Jot it down. Let us take a break and then we're going to come back and continue with Open Line Friday here on To The Point. We'll be right back right after this.
Let's get tough on breed your larceny. It will destroy our economy. Larceny threatens our food security. Can hurt us locally, hurt us globally. To all the buyers, ask for license from all produce sellers. To all people, call 300 for police for them thieving fellas. To all the farmers, don't steal produce from your brother. Then you sell it to traffickers, hotels and street vendors. Nah, man. Let's do all we can to stop radio larceny. New vigilance, new laws, and a tough judiciary. Stop Grenada's organized business crime. It's time.
To report pre-deal larceny, call 300.
My granddaughter.
Government, private sector, civil society, academia, farmers, the Ministry of Agriculture, Lands and Forestry, in collaboration with the Food and Agriculture Organization, invites you to World Food Day 2021, the virtual edition, under the theme, Our Actions Are Our Future, Better Production, Better Nutrition, a Better Environment, and a Better Life. Join us October 15 from 9:30 a.m. via Zoom, Facebook, GIS, and Real FM as we recognize and celebrate the many successes of the agriculture sector.
Welcome back to Open Line Friday here on To The Point, giving our listeners and viewers an opportunity to call us and message us with anything that you'd like to share. Once again, the landline number 435-2041. The WhatsApp number is also 435-2041. Let's go right back to the landline, and you can also message us on Facebook and YouTube. Good morning, caller.
Good morning, Blossom. How are you?
Morning, I'm good. How you do?
I did, praise God. This morning,
Amen.
a testimony I have. I want to give God praise and thanks. My son was sick last year, and he had a...
Sorry, caller. Just speak up a little bit.
My son was sick last year. He had a cyst in his brain, and I just want to say thanks to God. I want to say thanks to the people that supported us, Dr. Donald, Dr. George, Dr. Rosales. These people was there for us. Nurse Bagon. Blossom, it was not easy for us as a family. When I see my son taking, we have the place locked down. We had to go to Trinidad lockdown, we can't go. When they say the price to go there. We had no money to go. We do our GoFund. I want to say thanks to everybody that put a little into that for us. I realized the church closed, but God wouldn't close. And I told God, when I come back, I'm going to testify about the goodness of God. And bless him, here am I today. We had us to fly out to Colombia. And some of the people who are listening, they will know who's speaking. We are out to fly out to Colombia with all the lockdown to get my son well, to get that cyst out of his brain. It was the water components and the solid components. Blossom, it was a sight to behold, but I give God the praise. I give God the thanks. I don't want to make my testimony too long because I will come back and next time to share. I want somebody to keep courage this morning. And the last, coming to the last, when I see what happened, I say, God, where are you? And God show up. The person come with that money and they say, you could fly out. We had to take an ambulance to Colombia. And I give God the praise. Father, I give you the worship this morning because he has been good to us. My son work in the Prime Minister's office. All those that give, I want to say thanks to you all. I give God praise for all you. I give God praise. God is a good God. And if somebody going through this problem now, I want them to hold on and know God will come true for them. He come true for me. My son is alive today and he's doing well. He's doing well, Blossom. 3 times a day had us to going up and down in the hospital. Look at the hospital situation now. So when I look back at the goodness of God and what he has done, I want to say hallelujah. I want to say thank you, Jesus. I want to say God bless those that bless us. You have a lady named Miss Ann. She was walking in front of the road there. She come and she said, my house burned down and people give to me. She said, Miss, look, whatever she give me, I said thanks to them. It was not easy, but to God be the glory. Great things he has done. The churches that give, I say thanks to them because we wouldn't have able to make it. We didn't have the finance. And to fly out with an air ambulance from Puerto Rico, the air ambulance came in and took my son and take him to Colombia. We had us to pay the $100,000. We are getting it. God provide. He's a provider. In the end of time, as I'm about to give up, that's the time God show up. So I want to tell somebody this morning, God will show up for them. Just hold on there. Trust God. Believe God. He will make a way through the desert for them.
Amen.
That's my prayer this morning.
Thank you very much, caller. You almost make me cry, man. Make a little tear come my eye. Bless up yourself. God's blessings on you and your family. I'm glad to know that your son is okay. There's a statement we make regularly that should not be taken lightly. And that statement is, God is awesome. God is good. And personally, God doesn't just show up, he shows up and shows out. He does show off sometimes. He does say, look what you asked for, but take a little piece extra. Hold that so still. Yeah. God is a good God. God is a good God. I don't want to go more. I might start a ball on the people. Let me go to the phone lines. Good morning, caller.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning, caller.
And all your followers. Thankfully, our numbers are looking a lot better now. God has really been good to us over the past week. We've seen some improvement. But Blossom, I'm still very concerned. The testing, I'm hearing, I'm not 100% sure, but I've been told by folks that they only test folks who have symptoms. So if you walk up and you said you like to get tested, they won't test you. So it's not everybody who wants the test who gets the test. There's a decision to be made as to who is tested. I don't know if that, I'm subject to be corrected. But if we only testing people who have symptoms or who have been contact traced, then it means there may be many other folks who are asymptomatic who are not being tested. So it's difficult. There was a day in the week when we had a positivity rate of 24%. I don't know if you saw that. That means 1 in every 4 persons tested was positive. They didn't give an explanation. They didn't say if it is a special area they went to, or if these are people who were specifically contact traced. So all we knew that 1 in every 4 persons who were tested that day was positive, and that is a serious thing. Now the numbers are down to 3, significantly down, and thank God for that. But 3 is a big number, Blossom. If we extrapolate that number to the U.S. population of 350 million, the U.S. yesterday would have had 10,500 cases, deaths. They would have had 10,500 deaths. Our population is small. So 3 is still a large number. And they would have closed down the country. The most deaths the U.S. has ever had is 2,000 and something. When we were 10 and so, it was amounting to about 40,000 deaths a day in America, you know. So we have to be very careful and thinking, oh, it's a small number, but we have a small populations. So we're talking about a very high percentage of our population that's dying. And to be honest with you, I know people are concerned, people are having cabin fever and all kinds of stuff, but I would have been a lot more comfortable if the government had kept us in for another weekend, or even 2, until the numbers are to a level where we are certain that the stats are accurate and the spreading of that virus is really, really under control. It's very good, and I'm very encouraged, and I give praise to God, but I think we could have done it another week or 2. Hopefully, nature will come in. There are no Grenadians afraid of rain. So there may not be a lot of running around this weekend if the rain comes, but I believe. People may disagree with me, and they're free to, but I would have preferred another week of lockdown, or even 2 weeks. Weekends, not weeks, weekends. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you very much, Mr. Bernard. You enjoy your day and have a good weekend as well. I wouldn't mind. When I reach home on Friday, I don't come out on Mondays anyway, so I wouldn't have mind another 2 weekends of no movements. In relation to the tests, I also heard those reports that not everyone who wishes to get tested are tested. I understand that there are some questions that are asked by the health officials in terms of if you think you were exposed, what symptoms you have been experienced, if any, and they kind of do I don't want to say a contact tracing, but they inquire, about why you think you should get tested then. So if you've been home for, let's say, 3 weeks, not going anywhere, but you still want to get tested, they may not do it. But if you were in a place where they know that someone with a positive test visited, then they just might. Or if you have loss of taste, but you don't know if you got it from somewhere else, they just might. So it depends on the answers to the questions that they may ask if you want to get tested. All right, let me read some comments. Somebody on Facebook says, just read an article of police promotion. Can government include an increase in salaries for the healthcare workers and also make them permanent? I can tell you with this pandemic, their jobs are risky and they are working very hard. These workers should be in a different salary scale from other workers. Thank you is not enough. Another Facebooker says, is it true parents have to be vaccinated to bring their children at the daycare? Yes, it is, as explained by Attorney General D.R. Forrester during post-cabinet briefing on Tuesday. Daycare centers can operate. The workers need to be fully vaccinated, as do the parents who have to be fully vaccinated. I'm not going to comment. It might end up in problems. Only know my name easy to call. So let's just move on. But yes, Facebooker, it is true. Your parents have to be fully vaccinated to drop off their children at the daycare. WhatsApp, the nurse had no right to administer any vaccine without proper identification. And she heard the way the woman spoke. So it's games playing all over. The nurse had to call the authorities and report her because she had no ID and refused to give her the vaccine. Oh, okay. So this is from the person that spoke about the woman that did not have ID and got vaccinated, first and second dose. I'm still going to say call the authorities because you seem to have details. So it's not just here on the commissioner probably not paying attention. Commissioner doing police work, so he probably not paying attention. Minister Steele probably out doing something COVID-19 related. He's probably not hearing. Call the police, call the authorities, call the cops, call the popo, anyhow you want me to put it, call somebody and report it. Don't just leave it here on GBN's WhatsApp. Still on WhatsApp, can the people take pride in putting out their garbage? Can we buy garbage bags to put our waste so the workers don't have to see and smell it? No, sir. And not just that, the dogs, we need to take our time and get... Somebody's calling the WhatsApp. No calls on the WhatsApp, please. We need to take our time and ensure that the dogs can get into the garbage. No calls on the WhatsApp, please. These animals are atrocious. All right, let me read this WhatsApp before I go back to the line. Somebody says, sorry to say we are going the wrong way. Please eliminate yourselves from mental slavery. Say no. Say no to? All right, let me go. Still on WhatsApp. Okay, no. Let me go back by the landline. Good morning, caller.
Yeah, good morning. Calling from Petit Martinique.
Good morning, Petit Martinique.
Yes, and how are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm all right.
All right, go right
Yes,
ahead.
I just want to make a statement.
Yes, go ahead.
About the vaccine.
Mm-hmm.
Why it must be so important about the vaccine when people and some people who undertake it, they're dying with it. Why it's so important that you must have to take it?
Because it would help, according to the reports, it would help keep our numbers down, especially hospitalized cases and deaths.
So if they have a complaint which they cannot take it, it is still value for them to take it?
I don't know how to answer that. The goal is not, well, the expectation is not that everyone would get vaccinated, but they want to get to a certain number. So I guess they leave room for people who cannot take the vaccine for whatever reason.
Okay. Well, my reason now, I cannot take it because I have short breath, I have asthma, I have chest cold, and certain tablets I cannot use it neither. Like capsules and other tablets like that, I cannot use it. So I just had to try to ask advice if I still could take it or not.
So have you consulted your doctor? Do you have a personal doctor for your condition?
Yes.
So have you consulted your doctor?
Well, no, from the vaccine thing, I never checked.
So I think you should inquire of your doctor. He or she would better be able to advise you because they know of your condition. But the doctors that we recently had on the program, they did say that being asthmatic does not disqualify you from taking the vaccine. So even if you're asthmatic, you can get vaccinated. However, with the other conditions that you've highlighted, I suggest you contact your doctor and get a professional opinion on if you should get vaccinated. But being asthmatic does not disqualify you from getting vaccinated. But contact your doctor, okay?
Yeah. Okay, thank you.
No problem. Have a good day.
Bye.
All right. If any concern that you have, consult your doctor. No matter the condition you have, it could be just a cold or it could be something great as asthma, heart disease. Consult your doctor. They have a better understanding of your condition. So asking me, I would tell her being asthmatic, she could still get the vaccine. However, her doctor would know the level, how serious her asthmatic condition is, and would better be able to advise. So any condition that you have health-wise and you're not sure, consult your doctor. Not Blossom, consult your doctor. I can only share the information that I've received from health officials, from doing my own research, but specific people with specific conditions, consult your doctor. Let me go to a YouTube comment. Somebody asks, did the Prime Minister meet with the medical professionals before making the decision of lifting the weekend lockdown? I can I was about to say safely say, but yeah, man, I could safely say, as with this COVID-19 pandemic and how it has unfolded, most, if not all of the decisions made are made with consultations with health officials, not just the Prime Minister and the Minister of Health, but other medical professionals in the ministry, outside of the ministry, the doctors who are assisting in the hospital. It is a consultative decision. That's not a word. It's a decision made following discussions. So it's not just Prime Minister Mitchell saying, you know what, I'm tired with lockdown, I want to go in town on Saturday morning. No, it's a discussion held with health officials on measures taken, and not just lockdown, but measures taken to curb the spread of the virus. Let me go to WhatsApp. Yesterday, I heard on a program about rebranding the NDC party, which I think is a great move forward because of the many people who have been in that party and not moving a needle with new voters. They have been there with an astronaut. Right, they've been there as an astronaut, just acquiring space, and don't want to resign and give younger people a chance to change this administration. I know there are many parties that are planning to join together to have a change in government for the next election. I think the NDC will be having their convention at the end of this month, and I hope that people who contested 3 past elections will step back and let capable people with winning intentions lead and be advisors to them. And how defeat the NNP and know how to defeat the NNP. Okay. Still on WhatsApp, Blossom, how long is the quarantine period for returning nationals, please? It's the same as foreign visitors. It is 2 days if you are fully vaccinated, and I'm trying to remember how much for unvaccinated. 7 comes to mind, but 14 songs more. No, not 14. 14 sounds like a lot. Let's say between 7 and 14 days for the unvaccinated. But it should be 48 hours, aka 2 days for the fully vaccinated. Fully vaccinated meaning 2 weeks after you've received the second dose of your vaccine. I realize a lot of people are not aware that as you have to wait 2 weeks after getting the second dose to be considered fully vaccinated. So it's not if you get your shot today, you're fully vaccinated. 2 weeks after their second shot, then you're considered fully vaccinated. I realize a few people were not aware of that. All right, let me see. Facebook. Somebody on Facebook says, seeing that the government is pushing vaccine, is there any responsibility on the part of the government for the people that died or are in a state of incapability to help themselves? Also, what preparation is in place for the people that are badly affected and need medical help due to COVID vaccine? The government has the privilege of traveling to foreign for medical services. I'd have to box my brain a little bit with that one. Let me take the call in the meantime. Morning, caller.
Good morning. Please give me 1.5 minutes.
Only one. One. Go ahead.
Yeah. Anyhow, I'm asking myself, I'm saying that the only person, I wouldn't call him a man or a spirit, that could never be able to make a mistake is God. So when you tell me that I have to discuss certain things with my doctor for I to either know to take the vaccination or not, what you are telling me, maybe the doctor or the people like the doctors and so, they do not make mistake. So I'm putting my hands in the risk of the doctors, knowingly that I wouldn't die, but nobody wants to die. So I would take my consideration on how I think, not even what the doctor thinks, because the doctor is not, as you would say, omnipotent. They don't know every single thing. People have been diagnosed with different things. I didn't say all the doctors, People have been diagnosed with different things, and when they go elsewhere, and when they operate on them, they see it's not that. Okay. So doctors could make mistakes. I didn't say they always make, Okay. So they could tell you could take it and go and see, go and take it, and when you're there, you go say, if I didn't know.
Okay. Thank you very much. It's your personal doctor would have an idea of what is to is. Facebook, somebody says, do mobile caregivers who take care of the elderly, do they have to be fully vaccinated also? Yes. I'm saying yes because workers at elderly homes need to be vaccinated. I think that was part of the regulations highlighted on Tuesday. If you're taking care of the elderly, unbox my brain. Good morning, caller.
Good morning.
Morning, how are you?
I'm good.
All right, go right ahead. Sorry, caller. Just turn down the volume on your TV.
Yes, I turned it down.
Yeah, go ahead.
Good morning. How are you today?
Not too bad.
Okay, I'm just a bit concerned. I'm just wondering, what is the aim of our governments and the government of the world? Is it to vaccinate people or to stop the spread of COVID-19? Because from what I understand, vaccinated or not, you can catch the virus and you can spread the virus. So I would think that the main issue should be how to stop the spread of the virus. And from my understanding, to stop the spread of the virus is to use a mask, to sanitize your hands, and to social distance. Now, this is the number one thing. If you are vaccinated and you don't wear mask, you could catch a virus. You unvaccinated and you don't wear mask, as they said, you can catch a virus. So, I'm kind of concerned what is the role? Is it there an underlying agenda to this vaccination? Because it is very strange to me how these things are being pushed so much. I mean, I have a family member that died from COVID-19 and was fully vaccinated. And also I'm crying because, that person thought they was covered. And what I'm concerned also about is they're telling you if you're underlying effects, you should be vaccinated. But when you die from COVID-19 and you are fully vaccinated, they're saying, it's because of underlying effect. I am confused. Could I get it right? Why are they deceiving the people? That's my contribution. Thank you.
Thank you very much, caller. All right, let me see if I can help. Caller, in relation to the regulations that we've been observing for the past almost 2 years, wearing of masks, washing your hands, social distancing, and so they help, but they are not 100% foolproof. Sometimes we get complacent, sometimes you could be 99.9% careful, and that just 0.1% can be the deciding factor between getting infected or not. So the vaccination is aimed at helping lower the numbers or occurrences of contracting the virus. According to research, being fully vaccinated also lowers the risk of you spreading the virus as well. In some cases, while you can still spread it, but in some cases it lowers the spread. So if I'm not vaccinated, I can spread it to 10 people. If I'm fully vaccinated, that number may be reduced to maybe 3 people. That's according to the research. In relation to the comorbidities or the underlying conditions that they quote-unquote blame for COVID-19 related deaths, it is because it's not COVID-19 that is killing you. COVID-19 is exacerbating your condition or making your condition worse. So if you have heart problems, if you're diabetic, if you have high blood pressure, if you contract COVID-19, it may just worsen your sugar levels. So if you would normally test, if it's uncontrolled and you would normally test, let's say 200 after lunch, with COVID-19 it might just spike it, and after lunch you can test at 4 something, and it's your diabetic condition that is killing you, your high blood pressure condition that is killing you. COVID-19 did not stop your heart from beating, it worsened your condition, and the condition stopped your heart from beating. So that's why it's a COVID-19 related death and not a COVID-19 death, because it's not COVID-19 killing you, it's COVID-19 making your condition worse, which is what is killing you. So hopefully that explained it just a little bit. The idea of getting vaccinated is so that more people, it also helps with productivity. Let's say GBN has, we do not have any cases here, but let's just say GBN has cases. Chances are we may just need to take 2 weeks home. If we are fully vaccinated, we recover and we get back to work, let's say in 2 weeks. Unvaccinated, I might end up in hospital for a month. I might just pass away, or it might just get to the instance of, prolonged COVID. So it's in an effort to help the country at least get back to normalcy. If we get to, I think the number is 70% government is hoping to reach at. If there's 70% of the nation fully vaccinated, then we can, even if you contract the virus, all 110,000 of us may not be at the hospital at the same time. It may just be maybe 1 or 2 of the vaccinated and 20 of the unvaccinated. So it's in an effort to help us as in the entire country, 110,000 of us, help us all go through this time with as little effects on our economy, on our jobs, on our lives, on our health as possible. That's part of the, not argument put forward, but part of the basis for encouraging vaccinations. According to health officials, and not just here in Grenada, building your immunity is not foolproof. Wearing your masks, washing your hands, using hand sanitizer, social distancing, they are not all 100% proof. As many things as you can get to help protect us from COVID-19, get them all. So even if you're fully vaccinated, you still have to wear your mask and wash your hands. So it's all about helping us help COVID go about his or her business. Hopefully that helped. And that's where we're going to end to the point this morning. It's time for me to close off. Thank you for participating. Just as a heads up, there may be some I should put it, host changes in GBN for a few weeks, starting on Monday, God willing. I'm just giving you a heads up just in case you do not see me here on Monday morning, God willing. I was going to say I would try, but let's see how it happens over the weekend and once things are finalized. So I don't want all you to wake up Monday morning, not see Blossom and she had COVID. No, it would. Hopefully it won't be COVID. I intend to reach home and stay there until Monday morning, God willing. But you just may notice some changes next week, God willing. They are supposed to be temporary. So just as a heads up. All right, let's close off the program. Enjoy the rest of your day. Have yourselves a safe, enjoyable weekend. Outside open for the weekend. However, please continue to observe the protocols. Now is not a time for us to drop our guards. Yes, our number of daily cases are decreasing, but they are still active. And there are unknown cases that we may not be aware of. So you never know who you're behind in the supermarket, who you're sitting next to in the bus. You're standing in line in the pharmacy. You're going and pay a bill. You just don't know what's happening with Jane in front of you and Tom behind. So do what you need to do to stay safe. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, everybody. Blossom was here. Bye.